Hello everybody, Johnny here, coming at you today with another video on how to improve your YouTube channel. And today we're gonna cover the very basic bare bones on how to get your inputs, audio, video, capture some nice footage on your PC. Let's get to it. So I was having a conversation with my friend Dean earlier from Escape to Gaming. I'll leave a link to his channel below. It's a wonderful channel on gaming, movies, cars, really awesome stuff. His positive attitude is one of the things that inspired me to get into YouTube, so I'm very grateful for that. But also we were talking about how a lot of these videos presuppose prior knowledge. So I was talking about OBS and audio compression and other kind of more advanced stuff, when really a lot of people just want a gateway into this and how to basically hook up their things and get some footage going. So let's cover that today. So before we discuss any software, let's just figure out our inputs here, audio first. So assuming you have an external microphone, you're going to have to plug that into your PC. If it's a regular microphone, something like a clip-on or a lapel microphone, you can plug that straight into your PC. It will be recognized and you can use it as a device. If instead you have a condenser microphone, something similar to what I'm using right now, you're gonna need phantom power. To achieve that, you can plug it in to a DAC unit, something like a USB audio interface. You can look that up on Amazon. You can get cheap ones that will give you also the ability to monitor your sound in real time, which is very useful in my opinion. Once you set up the drivers and install everything, it will also be recognized as an audio device. So when it comes to video, there are really three scenarios I want to cover that I think will most likely apply to you. First, you're running the game in your local machine. No problem, easy to capture. We'll see in a little bit how that's done. Number two, you're running the game in a console, also very common, also not a problem, but you're gonna need another device, something that sits between your console and your PC that will allow you to capture that footage. Usually something like a video capture device is what it's called, and you can find them on Amazon. Elgato is a very popular one. There are many options out there, so if you need that, go out and look for one. They are a little bit expensive depending on the quality you're going for, but they are worth it if that's what you need, right? And the last scenario is, let's say you have some footage already recorded and you just want to add some commentary on top of that. So we're gonna quickly cover that as well, because I think that might be a realistic scenario for a lot of folks. So without further ado, let's get into the meat of this. So now that we have our stuff hooked to our PC, we're ready to start capturing some footage. And now the question comes, what software are you gonna use for that? There are many options. I've tried OBS, XSplit, Fraps, a couple others as well that I'm not gonna go into. And for me, OBS works the best. It is also free. You can download it right now and try out all the steps that we're gonna follow in here. So by all means, try all the other ones by yourself and make up your mind, but this works and works pretty well. So this is what OBS looks like. It's a pretty simple interface. We've got our preview window, which I've disabled right now because otherwise we would get an infinite loop of preview windows, which is quite distracting, I've been told. Let's steer away from that and let's just describe what's going on here. So it operates using scenes. So you can have different scenes set up. And just think, if you're a streamer, for example, you have one scene where you have an overlay, another scene where you have your camera, another scene where you just have your video capture, you know. For now, we're just going to think very simple. We're gonna go with just the video game capture plus our audio. So I've created a little demo scene in here, and obviously I've got some stuff going on already that you can see here because I'm recording right now, but you would have a blank slate. And let's just describe what's going on here. So in the sources panel, you're gonna have everything that goes into composing your scene, right? Everything you will see in your preview here. And so the first thing we're gonna add is your video. Now, if you have the game running locally, you can choose game capture. We will go into a new game capture. You can choose which window specifically to display, or just capture any full screen application, which is generally what you want to do here. Alternatively, you can use display capture, and so it's basically what I'm using right now. It will show whatever is in your display, right? So you could be opening Windows, moving stuff over, all of that would be captured. So that's another option. Now, moving on to the second scenario, if you have input coming from an external device, like a video capture device plugged into your console, for example, then when you go in here, you would go into video capture device, create a new one, and then you'd select which device to get footage from, right? In my case, I only have my webcam in here, but you would also see your Elgato or whatever device that you have. You just select that, and then you would be able to configure that in your scene. Let's eliminate that for now. You'd be able to choose the size of the video footage and all that. So that's basically it. Now for the third scenario, where you're just recording audio for an existing footage, then there are many ways you could go about it. You could just have a blank scene without any video and just record the audio, is one option. You could have the gameplay footage playing in your display, capture your display like we've shown here, and then just talk over it normally. So those are kind of my recommendations for the three different scenarios. Now going into audio, you would add your audio source in the same way. So we would go in here and go audio input capture, create a new one. You would select which device. So your device, the one that you just installed, would be listed in here. You would just simply select it, click OK. So as you can see here, you can see the levels as I speak. If I had any video game footage running, I would see the levels of that down here. And so that's all you really need to care about. There are other options that you can check. There are filters you can apply to your voice, to the game, and I have another video that covers that in a lot more depth, but for now we're not gonna go into that. Right now we have both audio and video hooked up, and we could just hit start recording and that would do the job for us. But we might want to check some basic settings in here. Specifically, if you go into output recording, you can select where your video is gonna land, which is important. You can select the format it's gonna land on, and then the type of encoding that you want. Now the encoding is something I cover in another video. I'll refer you to that at the end of this one. I don't want to go into too much depth here, but these are the settings that I have currently. For audio, you can also set whatever quality is acceptable to you, and that's all you need. Once that is set up, again, you're able to just click start recording and record your video. Now I recommend just try out a lot. Just try out a lot of samples. You know, different volumes, different quality levels, all that kind of stuff. Just find and tweak until the video is up to your standards. So that's all I wanted to cover for today. I've tried to be as general as I could, but also give you all the detail that you need to implement this on your side and just get going. Just try until you get something that looks good. So that's it for me. If you have any comments, please let me know in the comments below. Have I forgotten to mention anything? Is there anything you want to cover in more detail? Let's get a conversation going. So thank you ever so much for watching my video, and as always, catch you next time.